Okay, so the nuance you need to be aware of is that we calculate, when we run the calculations doing the stats, we know it's y equals mx plus b, that's the slope, that's the y-intercept, but on your readout, it's gonna be called a on your calculator because the calculator's a little silly, okay? That's really all you need to know, is gonna be y equals ax plus b when we come up with the equation. Y'all cool with that idea? So the slope on your calculator will be called an a. It'll be called a. All right. So first thing we're doing is we're just going to go ahead and calculate the correlation coefficient. Here are the directions. Let me get my calculator as well. Everybody got your calculator out? Turn them on. Just run through like a rendition with me to make sure you guys got this. It's kind of easy. It's gonna be the same thing all day. First thing, there's probably some data in there, so you're gonna go data, data, clear. Oh, you know what? Do me a favor. Let's do this. Hit data, data, to where it gives you the clear thing. Everybody there? Go ahead and hit the up cursor. You can go down a couple times or you can go up. Look at that. Clear all. Clear all is going to be helpful today because we're going to be using L1 and then we're also going to use L2. We're not going to use the third letter because, you know, we're not going to do 3 variable stats. But that's going to represent the Y, that one's going to represent the X. And so when you're clearing something out, instead of doing clear L1 then clear L2, you can just click clear all, and then the whole entry columns will be empty for the data, right? All right, so they give you your data points right here. So for your X's, now you got to make sure the X goes with the Y. They can't be unaligned. It's real easy to do that on accident when you're typing this up in your calculator, but make sure they match up. You type 3, then 5, then 7, then 8, then 9, and then go over to L1. Make sure you have 0, so the 3 is lined up with the 0. It has to be the right one with the right point. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oops. 2, 9, 6. All right, so basically this is a scatter plot in chart form though. So once you've entered all of these, and please do me a favor, make sure you write these directions down so that because I'm going to add them in here. I know you kind of know, but I'm not going to keep them on this board forever. So after you've entered all the data, after we've inputted the data, then you're going to go ahead, second, stat, and then you're going to go to 2var. 2 variable stats or 2 variable statistics. So you got to go down, or you hit the number 2, and then it say L1. Now notice this time it says X data, then is L1. On your calculator, it should say this. Are you with me? You doing this too? L1 will say X data, and then it'll say the Y data, and it'll have L2 highlighted. Well, that's what we're doing. We're doing those for the X's and those for the Y's. So you just hit enter, enter, calc. Enter, enter, calc, and now we have all our data. And now I know we put in a lot of stuff, but really we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 data points. These are 1 each. So the end value is 5. Disregard the X bar, although I think that's the average of those X's there. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up. I'm going to cursor up. Well, maybe I should have gone down. They give you an R value, and they're asking us to round this to the nearest hundredth, 0.9145 or 1,00056. Now, for today's assignment, just make sure you follow the directions to round to the nearest thousands. We want to round to this one. What does this one do? It's 5 or bigger, so you bump the other one up 1. So our final answer will be 0.915. You have to add 1 to there, and that's what you got to type in to the IXL solution. Okay, now the data calculations here, continue to scroll up above the R. Can y'all see the A value? I'll go ahead and preview the next thing that we're going to have to learn anyways. The A value, I'm just going to round that to the nearest 10th. We'll see what they say in the directions up ahead. It's 1.6, and the B value is negative 5.1. So all we're going to be doing otherwise is writing the equation. It will be y equals 1.6x minus 5.1. That's kind of the rounded equation, and it's a pretty good match because that's a strong positive correlation. Okay, so what the point of this is, that line will be a good predictor of future values. So you could use it as a good model to try and find out what's going to happen. All right, any questions about that? All right, let's jump to the next. Go ahead and see if you can calculate the R value following those same directions. Remember, the directions are just, you're going to input the data, we'll clear it. Input the data, go to Var Statistics, enter calc, and then scroll to where you find the R value or the correlation coefficient. And there's the new problem. All right, for those out in the at home or wherever, you enter it. Did anybody else get this? Okay, so you get this data. That's the thousands where the 6 is. The 7 bumps it up 1, so it's negative 0.057. That's what you put in. That's what you enter. Anybody have a question about this particular problem? I'm going to jump ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and skip this one because does everyone have the process down? Okay. All right, because we're going to do the same process right here. The only thing you're going to do a little different is that you need to put the A and the B instead of finding the R, but it's all from the same readout. So you still enter the things the same way. Remember, you go data, data, clear all, and then enter the data and then go. Okay, here's what I got. I got the A value. Oh, look at this. We gotta be careful. They're requiring you to go to the nearest thousands, so that means they won't give you credit if you don't round it correctly. So the A value is 1.7683. The third decimal is here. This thing is smaller than 5, so it will not bump up. So when you type it in, it's gotta be 1.768. Now for the B value, it is 17.6387. This one is the third one. That's bigger than or equal to 5, so it's plus 1 there. So when you type it in, it'll be 17.639. Is that what y'all got as well? Okay, I mean, it's very possible. If I even misclick one digit, it throws it off. So it's not like I don't know the math, but sometimes I will type in the wrong digit or something rushing through. So are we good? Does anybody have a question about the rounding? We're kind of fortunate here. We have both examples. If it's less than 5, it stays the same. And so it stays the same. If it's greater than or equal to 5, the number after that third decimal, you bump it up 1, so that 8 became a 9. So we have both examples there. And then this is the same readout as the previous IXL that had the R value, the correlation coefficient. And you can see here that this R value is relatively strong positive because it's 0.8. Okay. Here's the next one. Let's see if you guys can do it. Go ahead. All right, that's what we got for our answer. Positive 3.206 x minus 44.941. Any questions?